know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. You ended up in quarantine and you told yourself, hey, I got all this free time. I'm going to pick up a hobby. I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. But you're 2 months in and you're playing Wonderwall every day and all those other four-chord songs, and it's getting real stale and you're pissing everyone off in the house. But no need to fear, Uncle Max is here. So today, I'm going to spice up your guitar playing by not only demonstrating you how to play metal guitar riffs, but also demonstrating to you how to write your own metal guitar riffs. Now, as for metal, it's an all-inclusive genre. You can either steal the show and melt people's faces off with ear-rupturing solos, or you can just hide in the rhythm section. You can play breakneck thrash riffs at 1,000,000 miles an hour, or you can sit back, play nice, slow, clean, beautiful riffs. So it's all-inclusive for all types of musicians. In terms of myself, I've been playing guitar for over 5 years. And although I'm self-taught, I was an accomplished brass musician in high school, so I have a good exposure to not only music theory, but also more complex musical genres other than metal. So, as a brief overview, I'm first going to tell you how to dial a good metal tone. I'm going to teach you how to play and apply power chords. I'm going to teach you or demonstrate to you how to palm mute or to chug. And finally, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to play and apply the tritone. Now, let's first start off by talking about your tone. So, I'm going to get real close right here. First off, you'll see that you have this button right here on the practice app that you definitely have at home. This button right here, make sure you press it. Don't leave it unpressed. And the knob that you have that corresponds to it, that also has gain or distortion under that, you're going to want to crank it a good amount, but not too much, because the goal with the gain is to make a loud, crunchy, aggressive sound or powerful sound, but you don't want it. You don't want to go crazy with it. You want it in moderation. So also, you'll see that you have your 3 equalization knobs right here, and these correspond to the low, medium, or mid, and high sections of your sonic range. And a good rule of thumb with this is you want your high and your low knobs cranked anywhere from 1 to 5 o'clock, and then you want your mid right here, your mid knob cranked from 11 to 2 o'clock. So your high is more than your mids, but don't leave out your mids. That's called scooping your tone, and what it does is it takes away all the power from your sound, because you're going to end up with an edgy, or not edgy, but sharp sound, but you're going to have no power behind it, because the guitar is a mid-range instrument. Don't take away the mid-range sound from a mid-ranged instrument. So now that we've talked about the amp, let's talk about the guitar. So with the guitar, what you can do here is you can get a good metal tone by taking your pickup selector switch and switching that to the bridge pickup. And what you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to take the volume knob that corresponds with that switch selector and open it up instead of having it closed off. And finally, what you can do is you can angle your pickups, like I do, to either the high strings or the low strings, and that's going to isolate the respective sonic ranges, i.e. the high sonic range or the low sonic range. And for myself, you know me, I'm all about that bass, got it angled towards the low strings. So now that we've talked about your tone, let's learn how to play and how to apply power chords. Now, if you'll let me plug in, the power chord is a staple in rock and metal music, and it communicates probably the least amount of harmonic information you can, but when combined with that awesome metal tone you just dialed for yourself, the power chord becomes quite powerful when you play it. Formula is really simple. Just take your pointer finger, put it on the lower string, take your ring finger, play it on the next highest string up 2 frets down the neck, and then on the same fret, 1 string higher, place your pinky. And the equation for that, or the formula, is root 5 octave. And you can even omit the octave or take off your pinky, but you're still communicating the same harmonic information. So same information, same amount of power. And with this, you can even vary the formula by, instead of going root 5, you can go root 4 by barring, root minor third right here, or root major third, or root minor third, or any other combination you can come up with. Now I'd like to demonstrate to you an example of this by playing a riff from Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Gotta keep it short. What happened there? Something's going wrong with my guitar, but it's okay. So with that riff, you can see that you're just going from root 4 and you're hammering onto root 5. Real simple, sounds really good though. So now that we've talked about power chords, let's move on to palm muting. Now palm muting, like power chords, is ubiquitous in metal, and it's done really simply. You just take the meat of your hand right here, and you place it right where the strings meet the bridge. So instead of, you get, and what that does is it basically strips away the high end of the sound, gives you a low, crunchy, chunky, percussive sound that perfectly fits metal. And with palm muting, you can do a lot of different rhythmic subdivisions, which goes along with the percussive nature of the palm muting. So you can do straight eighths, sixteenths, gallops, backwards gallops, anything you can set your mind to. So I want to demonstrate this to you with a quick riff by Megadeth, Skull Beneath the Skin. Are we on? Yeah, we're on. Excuse me. Something going wrong with my guitar. There we go. So it happens when you don't buy good cables. Quick tip, buy good cables. And don't abuse your cables. I guess my cables don't want to work today. That's okay. So now that we talked about palm muting, let's go on finally to the tritone. So everyone knows that music, or excuse me, metal music is an evil genre of music. Thus, an evil note interval fits perfectly into the genre of metal. Enter the tritone. So the tritone, basically, its formula, real simple. You just have your root and your 5, and you take that 5 and you move it down a half step. And the reason it's so jarring is because the ratio of the vibrational frequencies for the root and the flat 5 is a really irrational number. It's an ugly number. It's like pi. Whereas the ratio of the vibrational frequencies of, say, the root and the 5, it's a much prettier number. So the takeaway from this is our ears like pretty numbers. So the tritone, it can be applied to chord structures, so you can play it as the flat 5 chord in a chord progression. So let me demonstrate this to you real quick. Hopefully my guitar. Come on now. I know I'm eating up your time. I know you don't want to watch this weirdo play metal guitar. Come on now. Uh-oh. If you blow on it like a game system. Like your old NES. Remember those? There we go. Alright, here's, what's it called? Freight Ends of Sanity by Metallica. Nice and clean. Now the tritone, it can also be applied to melodic lines. So here's a riff from the same album as that last riff. Here's Blackened by Metallica. You hear that tritone in there, real ugly. And that one actually, I think it incorporates the flat 5 chord as well, but inverted. Real cool. So to review, first I told you how to dial, or I demonstrated to you how to dial a nice metal tone. Then I demonstrated to you how to play and apply power chords. Then I demonstrated to you how to palm mute or chug. And finally, I demonstrated to you how to play and incorporate the tritone. All in the hopes of spicing up your guitar playing, in the hopes to not only show you how to play metal guitar riffs, but how to write your own metal guitar riffs. And all of these concepts, excuse me, all these concepts or elements, they don't exist in a vacuum. You can combine them in all sorts of ways to come up with a range of sounds at different tempos or in different keys or even in different tunings on your guitar. So I'd like to demonstrate for you a riff I wrote for this very speech. Here we go. Messed it up a bunch. It's okay. Didn't have time to practice it. But you can see with that riff, I had all the basics. I had power chords, I had chugging in there, and I had tritones. And I also had it in a weird time signature too. So bonus points for Max. So that's all I got for you guys. Thank you. Rock on.